Hello, 7th graders. Your video for tomorrow is going to be for sections 2.2 out of the book, which is on simplifying expressions. Now remember the other day we talked about the difference between an expression and an equation, and the fact that the only difference there really is that an equation has an equal sign and you can solve it. An expression just has numbers and variables. If it's an algebraic expression, it has variables. So when you're doing this, when you're simplifying them, you have to find terms that are alike. Okay, so like terms. Terms that have the same variable raised to the same power. So an example of that would be two x squared and x squared. Those are the same. They both have an x and they both have a 2. If I tried to combine an x squared and an x, that is not possible. This one has a power of 2. This one has a power of 1. You can't combine those. Okay? But you can combine these. So the next thing we need to talk about is what a coefficient is. That is a numerical factor of a term with a variable. So in the term 2x squared, the coefficient is the 2. It's the number that's being multiplied times the variable. Okay, it's the number in front of the variable. So if I had 3x, your coefficient would be 3. So in our assignment today, we're going to have to be able to figure out what like terms are, what coefficients are. We're going to have to be able to simplify expressions, and to be able to do that, you need to understand what the like terms are. Okay, so that's why we just went through that. So on here, when I'm trying to simplify this expression, I need to find things that are alike. So this 2x and this plus 4x are alike. You need to pay attention that this is a positive number and it says plus in front of the other one. 2x plus 4x would give me 6x. And if it helps you to write it, off to the side, go ahead, right? So then the other ones that are alike, regular numbers can only be combined with other regular numbers. So I have a positive 8 and a minus 5. So 8 minus 5, that would give me a positive 3. So it would be a plus 3. So 6x plus 3 is my answer. You can't solve for x because there is no equal sign. I can't finish it. You simplify it. You combine what you can, and then you leave it. So for this next one, this one's a little more complicated. This one, because there's the parentheses there, I have to get rid of parentheses first. Well, the only way to get rid of these parentheses is to use something called the distributive property. Okay, distributive property. So how that works is whatever number is on the outside, it's right next to it, so that means multiply. But I have to multiply it times everything on the inside. So 2 times 15 is 30. And then I have to go back outside and say 2 times 5. And it's a plus because there's a plus right here. They're both positive numbers. 2 times 5 is 10. W minus a W. You just record the rest of it down. So now I look at it, now it's like one of these other problems that I just got done doing. You combine what you can, and then you leave it. So 30, I cannot combine with 10W or W because it doesn't have a W. So it's by itself. 10W minus W. That's a 1. You don't normally write the 1, but it means 1W. What's 10 minus 1? 9W. So my answer is 30 plus 9W. So then for my last example here, factoring expressions. Okay? To be able to factor this out, that just means I need to find a common denominator. Okay? I need to break it down. So 27 and 18, 9 goes into both of those. Okay? So I'm going to factor out a 9. And I'm going to put the rest in parentheses because I'm going to use the distributive property to show how I'm factoring. So 9 goes into 27 3 times. So 9 times 3 would give me my 27 back. It's a positive 18, so it's plus. 9 goes into 18 2 times, and it's got to be 2v because there's a v here. So if I wanted to multiply this back out to prove it, 9 times 3 is 27, plus 9 times 2 is 18v. So you end up with the same answer, but this is the answer factored. And we're going to do a bunch more of those tomorrow, but that's just going to give you a good introduction to how to do those. Have a good night.